Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Blindsided or Sidebar or Bar
One of the
None.
shows.
Or...
In the side.
One of the
In the
shows.
bar.
In the bar.
Now, in the bar is what we're going to do within the blind, I think.
I mean, in the bar is, that's the ultimate evolution of that show.
Yep.
Just need a couple of local bars, to step forward and offer to host us and pay us handsomely for the privilege of doing so. And I think that's where that show will go.
And by pay us handsomely, it's just like, hey, maybe some bar food and
just keep it coming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Bar food is good.
Yep.
If it's the right bar food, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretzels
Good
and
chicken
stuff.
wing?
Yeah.
See, we just started already. It's food.
We devolved right into the food talk.
Right. We got to the good stuff instantly.
Yep.
Doesn't TCF stand for the culinary files?
Yes.
Pretty sure it does.
Oh, I thought it did.
Does
So
now.
we're on brand.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Okie dokie. So for tonight, dear friends, and welcome everybody, we thought we would talk about the idea of giving a plea, but not really meaning it. And we kind of went there last week when we were talking about that one lady who was in front of Judge O'Donnell because she had every excuse under the sun, even though she was, in there with a plea. But we thought it'd be good to have a broader discussion, although there's a case basis for this. Mr. Poindexter, who was in front of the Louisiana board, a 6-time felon. He was out on parole, so this was a parole revocation hearing. He got nabbed for threatening to shoot the baby mama, if I recall correctly, but he got it pled down to like disturbing the peace. So he took a plea to get that down to nothing, but of course that brought on a revocation hearing where he decided it would be a good idea to just deny everything and try to say, well, I took this plea, but it never happened. That's pretty much how that went, isn't it?
Yeah, the main thing about that was the illegal discharge of a firearm in front of a bar.
Yep.
That was the main thing, and then the threat for the baby mama also was on the side there too. But
I thought he threatened to shoot the baby mama. You're saying the shooting threat was separate from the baby mama threat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the
telephone
was telephone harassment with the baby mama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, the dude's a menace. He managed to get it pled down to disturbing the peace, and then he's upset because it might get his parole revoked, and he's like, no, that never happened. I never did it. So I think that's the launching off point for the larger discussion here. But that's just another example. We saw one today. We actually looked it up this morning in front of Judge O'Donnell again. This was a dude by the last name of Tucker, and he was there because there was like a complaint with police. He claimed that he was mistreated by police, and then Judge O'Donnell pointed out that he elbowed the policeman right in the face, and Tucker goes, that's self-defense. And then judge said, well, we should have a trial then, do we go forward with your plea? And then he immediately backed down. I was like, no, I'll take my plea. But we see so often these people get in courts and they decide it's a great idea to somehow fight against the plea that they already have in mind and they've already worked out.
And wasn't that the guy? Wasn't that the guy who had a criminal history longer than like a CVS receipt? I mean, this thing was. He had an endless list of charges against him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they actually brought out one of those old scrolls that you just unwind forever.
It was like like off a teletype machine, just all this long roll of paper.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
what I don't understand with these people is that when they go on parole and there's conditions with parole.
Yep.
One of those conditions is not to pick up any more charges. And when they still plea it down, they're still admitting guilt to said charges. So that's why the parole revokes his
Yes.
probation.
I think they all misunderstand, Ashley. They're not picking up the charges. They're not physically picking them up. They're just falling in their laps.
Yep.
So I think that's the justification.
But
They were in the sock when they put it on in the morning.
I mean, if he went to trial,
They were in that one case.
if he went to trial and he said he wasn't guilty, and they say he wasn't guilty of it, I think the parole board would be like, oh, okay, he wasn't guilty of it. But that's different than a plea deal. I feel like they think it's the same thing for some reason. That's not. It's still admitting guilt.
Well, and this is a tale as old as time, is how many times do we see these guys and again, they get some sweet deal. And all you have to say is, yeah, I did this. I've seen it in almost every court that we've watched at some point where somebody gets the deal of the century. We had I'm always reminded of that Sov sit in Middleton's court, that lady that went in there on like one day and she was just giving him the whole Sov sit lingo, and he called her a flat earther.
Yep.
Anyway, and then basically she's just getting everything, all this stuff against her just pled down to basically nothing. And then the next day, I guess, after he held her in contempt because she wouldn't even proceed or try to proceed forward. Then the next day she does come in and admit to everything. And, after, having some time and I think her brother or somebody, and then her attorney as well. Like everybody tried to kind of knock some sense into her, and so she decided to take it. But I mean, how many times do we see this where somebody's up there and they're like, all you have to do is just say, yeah, that's what happened. Yep, I did that. But they always go, well, yeah, but this also happened. And so that's why it didn't really count, Judge. Like, yeah, I went to the bank to rob it, but I wasn't actually the one that did it. And I was just in the car and I thought we were just, and again, this is a real one that was from, I think, Judge Boyd's court. Well, I was just in the car. I thought we were just going to go for some cigarettes and beer. And next thing I knew, we were at the bank. And then they tell me just to drive away. And I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, don't be like that. That's just stupid. I mean, if you want a trial, just have a trial, but just take the plea, man.
There is the case though too. Like, do they think by avoiding the trial that they're getting the better deal? Because do they feel like if they actually went to trial, the jury of their peers would listen to them? Like, there's definitely circumstances where you're going to have 12 people looking at you and go, yeah, no, this guy totally did it, no matter what you present. So I think we're seeing a lot of that too. It's just like, I'm either going to face exactly what's coming to me if I go to trial, or I can just take this sure thing. I didn't do it, Judge. The drugs were just in my sock. We didn't do laundry. I just grabbed the first thing off the floor. It's not my pants, but that's kind of where my thought is.
Take the plea and get a little less time than if you were found
sooner.
Guilty by the jury.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering why both Austin and Lindsay have referred to, it was in my sock or it was in my pants, that's a real thing that happened.
Those are real things.
Yeah.
It's a real thing that, so sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, folks.
Listen back to the prior sidebars and you'll understand the sock thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Or
even
those
think
occasional
the pants one was
people who
covered in
will
a
say-
sidebar. I think it was just a case. I don't remember whose court. This feels like a Judge Stevens court, but
It really does.
Yeah.
Well, then there's those people who will say it's not even their pants. That's my personal favorite.
Right. Yeah.
It's not my pants. I just grabbed the first thing off the floor.
And again, real thing that happened.
Real thing that happened.
This stuff, you can't make this stuff up. That's the crazy part. Yeah, I think sometimes they think if they try to sort of say, well, I'm just sort of a victim of circumstance, that the judge will go easier. The irony in that is the judge usually comes down harder, especially Judge Boyd, be like, well, then why should I accept this plea? Because what you're saying is, hey, I just happened to be there. Now, the one time that I actually think that there was some merit to it was, again, Judge Boyd's court. The guy that found a gun while he was like walking through the park or whatever. And he found the gun. Now, he was a felon. And he's not to have possession of a gun, but he found a gun and he decides to do the right thing. And they went through and they had a whole hearing about this. And it does turn out that he really did try to do the right thing by turning over the gun to the police or to the authorities. But he wasn't supposed to be in possession of it in the first place. And that's one where, I felt like he kind of got the raw end of the deal there because he did actually try to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't just want to leave it.
No.
So, but it's probably the only time where I can think of where somebody tried to mitigate what happened because they were actually telling the truth.
Yes.
And even everyone that came there was like, yeah, that is what happened. And he called right away. And, technically he violated his conditions, or technically he violated the law, technically. But, so that's one of those rare times where I think, in a plea situation, you can speak up and say, hey, yes, judge, but.
Yeah, I had the gun, but here's what was going on.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I think for the most part, it's kind of like, hey, if you said this, or if you're on, if you're getting a plea for something, just say, yep, that's what happened. I'll take my, second degree felony down to a class B misdemeanor. And I'll do my 2 years of probation or unadjudicated probation or whatever you're going to get, what sweetheart deal you got. I would speed run to the signing of that plea and do whatever I had to do and move on.
But then you can get your parole revoked though. On the other
if you're out on parole, but at that point it's pick your poison, because if you go to trial and you lose, now not only is your parole revoked over here, but now you've exposed yourself to the full punishment range on the other thing.
Right, yes. Exactly.
Double punishment, basically.
Yeah.
Ellie, what do you think?
Ellie has thoughts. So what's happening here, and she's done this a few times on the morning show too, since we have the teleprompter now, she can see her reflection in the teleprompter.
Oh,
so that's why she likes to get up on that now, is that it's like a mirror for her.
Women and mirrors.
Yep, exactly.
I see.
Let the record show you said that, not me.
Well, and cats, especially cats and mirrors.
Yeah, cats and mirrors. But Ellie's also a girl, so
yeah,
there you go.
She's included.
Very cute.
But no, there's this need with so many of these defendants, even when they've already, had some mitigation to get things down to a lesser charge, but they feel the need to just mitigate even further.
Yes.
It kind of speaks to this, and we see this all the time in court, this just absolute struggle to accept responsibility for what you've done.
Yeah.
Right.
And it really speaks through on these pleas so often. And it's got to be frustrating for the judges, and it doesn't surprise me that so often they just throw it back at them like, well, let's just go to trial then.
I mean, I would have come up with a better excuse, my dude. Like, his excuse was that he wasn't even there at the bar.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
That can be proven.
I mean, you admitted, you took a plea that you were at the bar and you pleaded to disturbing the peace, which is a misdemeanor. From what was it? Illegal discharge of a firearm. So I don't know. I would think of a better excuse, because he already pleaded to being there. So I wouldn't say to the parole board that I wasn't there. That doesn't make any sense, and that was their issue.
Yep. That and it's got them on footage too.
Right.
Footage.
See, Austin, that's
evidence number one.
Yeah.
That's the deal, right? So whenever we have these cases nowadays, it's this isn't. I think sometimes these guys think it's still 1978.
Hearsay or something.
Yeah, and everything's just based on some witness that they can't find or whatever. Everything's on body cam, or everything's on security cam, or surveillance cam, or something, and you're able to go back and look and see if the person was. Well, I wasn't there, Judge. Yes, you were. You're right there. You're in the image. I mean. I can't tell you again how many of these I've watched too, where, I'm always doing work, so I've always got something on. If it's after or before TCF hours, I'm watching, body cam stuff or whatever. And I can't tell you how many times the police will be like, look, we know you were there. And they'll be like, well, I wasn't. And then they're like, well, isn't this you? No, it's not me. And it's clearly them. It's like, and the look on their face says it all. Like they've got you dead to right, but you're going to double and triple down and be like, nah, man, I don't even own a shirt like that. Like
it's the same insanity that they don't think their calls are being recorded, as well.
Oh, the jail calls.
Or jail calls or like personal calls too. Because he said that, they were saying he threatened the baby mama.
Yeah,
and, that can be, there could be evidence for that too. So
Michelle's been watching this case that the lady, this girl that deliberately ran into the wall. I think it was in Ohio and killed the two other people in the car. And she's talking to her mom in the jail and stuff, and her calls are being recorded.
Yes.
And it's just so dumb. How do you not know that? They tell you that they're being recorded
at the beginning, yeah.
And then these people will go before the judge and they'll say, "Oh no, that didn't happen." And then of course, what happens next? You pop in that recording. And then it's like these cases are so crazy. I think
they're calling bluff. I think they think they're bluffing when they say that, but they're really not.
It's that, or it's just like this thing where they just don't think that it's there, or that they're going to go through the effort to play the recording. I really have no idea.
You know what? Even sometimes when these people see the evidence, they're like, it wasn't me. Beth and I were watching Homicide Squad. It's a 10-episode thing on Netflix where they follow New Orleans homicide.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And like cameras everywhere. Everything's always identified with these people. But there's this one guy, he like pulls up in front of this house, gets out of his car, shoots the guy on the porch as he's retreating into his house. Doesn't even apparently know the guy. The belief is that he was going to park there, and the guy on the porch told him that he couldn't, so he of course shot him. But they've got him on camera. They've got license plate readers that spotted this was a Mississippi plate on a very distinct colored Chrysler 200. The guy's wearing high visibility yellow because he's a construction worker. They go to his house. They've got the high visibility shirts and everything there. They've got firearms that don't match the ballistics of the shooting, but they find the exact same brand and caliber of ammunition. They got a clear view of the guy in another camera, another place. He looks at all this stuff and goes, "Yeah, it wasn't me."
Yeah.
I mean,
how does this happen? Like somebody did the makeup and made you look exactly like that other person or something.
But these people,
those of us of a certain age, were all educated by a song called "It Wasn't Me."
Yeah,
Shaggy taught us.
Just said, drop a little Shaggy.
2000s, how to get out of it. So
Rick Rock. Yeah.
Well, people live by that apparently, but it's But the funny thing is, and then these people still get a plea deal, even with
and a
everything.
6-time, and he's a 6 felony offender, and he got a plea deal too. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was the guy. There's the guy with 22 charges. I mean, 22 previous convictions. And I mean, that's part of a deeper conversation too, is not only the whole, I'm going to try to talk when I have a plea deal, potentially talking my way out of it. But then it's I have this laundry list of charges. I know how the procedures work in court, but I'm going to play dumb and pretend like I don't. Like, dude, you've been down this road more than twice. You've been here before. You, in fact, you're probably on a first name basis with most of the people that work in the courthouse. Oh, hey, Josh. Hey, man, how you doing? Another felony? Yeah.
You get booked and the guy calls you back. You're going back in your same cell.
Yeah, we got it all warmed up for you, man. Here you go.
You again?
But he still gets parole and still gets it easy.
Yeah,
I
he
just
got
don't.
amazing chance there.
Well,
I know.
and I know we've talked about this part of it too, because inevitably people are going to bring up, why do we keep giving people pleas, and why does this keep happening if somebody has shown a propensity to be a repeat offender or a habitual offender? And it's depending on the state, and it's depending upon the nature of the offense and the judge and the prosecutors and how cooperative witnesses are. There's so many factors that determine whether or not somebody's going to get a good deal or any deal at all. Yeah. But I know it's frustrating, like for us, just watching this stuff.
Yeah.
With somebody with 22 convictions, and they're not just, oh gosh, I was doing 65 and a 40. It's like serious stuff. And it's stuff like, so how many times do you expect them to get a plea and then they want to talk themselves out of it? And at that point, and I always bring up this one too, because I just think it's hilarious. Judge Mogan had a case like that, and she really hated to take this plea, and she waited for the moment this guy even suggested he didn't do part of it, and she goes, okay, so we're gonna have a trial. It's gonna be next Tuesday. Bye.
I remember that one.
I remember that.
Like, you could just
she
hear,
was
clenching.
elated.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
She didn't want to take that plea so bad. It was like making her sick. It's like she's just wriggling around in her chair because she didn't want to take it. She was having a visceral reaction.
Processing in real time.
Yep.
Judge Mogan's soliloquy.
Yes.
I want to know how this guy got how misdemeanor. He's a felony. He has a felony conviction. He shouldn't even have a gun.
Yep.
Right.
Six-time felon, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't understand. I mean, how? How did that happen? He's not allowed to have any firearms. How do you plead that down to a misdemeanor? It doesn't make sense. He must have had a good attorney or something, but
and that's the other thing too, is then, this is just it's a layer cake of frustration, right? So then there's that part. There's, if you have a good attorney, somebody that works well with the prosecutor, everybody that works well with the judge, they know the system, they know how to put together a plea that the judge is going to like. As Judge Oakley says, something that'll make his tail wag. Something that, it's, how to work that system, and if you do, and you get the right attorney and you get the right circumstances, then everything will work out. Yeah. I don't know. That's why sometimes stuff like this is just so frustrating as someone that, doesn't go out and commit felonies on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I always enjoy when they say, as part of your bond, you're not to commit any more crimes. I'm like, if they knew how to do that, they wouldn't be in front of you in the first place.
right.
I laugh myself every time. Like, yeah, exactly. Just don't commit crimes. Problem solved.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
The world would certainly be easier if people just stopped committing crimes, but then I'd have to shift my programming. So
Yeah.
And I'd be
that's
out of a
true.
career.
And
Yeah.
then why did he have a gun in the first place, too? Is also where my mind goes. So it's just, I don't know. It's all messed up. I don't think that should have happened in the first place. I don't think he probably should have been
Well,
out in the first place.
And then that's the part too. It's like you've got somebody there, an attorney, that's all you have to do is say yes. But again, people that make poor choices in their life, they're making poor choices in the most crucial moment as well.
Right.
It's like, dude, just you're on the goal line. Just walk into the end zone. You don't need to showboat. You don't need to, do the dirty bird or the Lambo leap or whatever. At least not until you're in the end zone. Get in there.
Yeah. Sign the paper, then do it.
Sign,
and make sure the
sign the
referee has his
goddamn
hands up
paper.
like this before you start doing anything with the ball.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Do not Leon let this, okay?
Yes.
Don't-
Yes.
Anybody that's
a deep reference right there.
It is. And, I look over at Michelle. I know Dan knows what I'm talking about, one of the big Super Bowl. And anybody that might have, not saying that you would be gambling back then because it would have been illegal, but let's just say you were at a bar and you had squares and, maybe you had the winning score and then Leon Lett decided not to walk into the end zone because he was too busy showboating and maybe you lost to like $300 that you would have won. Let's just say that might have happened to
Hypothetically
somebody, and you never really forgot it. So allegedly, but I'm just saying that maybe that might have happened. And so then when you see somebody not taking a plea and they're doing the same thing, like, hey, yeah, you're like, come on, man.
Yep.
Go.
That's a very good analogy.
It
Yeah.
is.
Because I mean, it's like the runway has been cleared for them. Just go. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively. I mean, they're still in trouble. There's still consequences, but nowhere near what they would have.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And it's better than
It-
lying to them, saying like, hey, I didn't do it type thing. And then your credibility also takes a hit along with that. So
Do these people really just believe that they've done no wrong? Is that it?
I don't know.
They're just taking the plea because it's a quick way out. But once it comes time to actually admit to it, they can't do it because they just believe with all of their heart that they're as pure as the wind driven
He
snow.
truly thought he was innocent, I think. Like,
Yep.
he had either that or he had a good poker face because he did not give any crap about it. Pardon my language.
Crap
Yes.
is not language.
Horrible language.
I've
Oh my
dropped
God.
straight F-bombs in succession. I actually apologize.
Hit the dump button. 7-second delay. No, look, it's it's. I think it's this delusion. Maybe it's narcissism. I don't know what it is. I'm not a psychologist, but there's definitely deep-seated mental issues when
Yeah.
it's not just a simple, they lack accountability. Yeah, that's part of it. But there's something way bigger than that too. And I think it has to do with control and manipulation. And they don't want somebody else to be in control of how they tell their story.
Yeah,
That or he has
that's a
a
big thing.
schizoaffective disorder or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, I'm trying to figure out the right word. I don't want to say cultural because I think that implies something, but I feel like within certain families or certain demographics, socioeconomic, whatever, you do kind of have this culture of, the police are just going to say I did wrong no matter what, but I didn't do anything wrong. And hey, buddy, you kind of robbed a liquor store.
No, it is
That's
cultural.
kind of wrong.
It is cultural. It's not a specific like race or socioeconomic demographic. It's a criminal culture. It's just an idea of birds of a feather, like people, criminals that are hanging out with other criminals, and it just sort of breeds into this idea of, well, I didn't do it. I'm not going to
Subculture,
admit to it.
maybe.
Yeah, it's a
I
subculture
don't
of it.
know if it's even just a criminal culture, to be honest, because when do you have students, sometimes you have students that cheat, for instance. And they's
Yeah.
like, I didn't cheat. Or
Never.
if you have somebody that plagiarized, I didn't plagiarize. Or if you had somebody, I feel like everybody is
Yeah.
it's like a constant denial society.
Yep.
And
Or
I feel
the
like this is no
excuse
different.
of everyone was taking the wire, so I took the
Yeah.
wire. What was so bad about it? Everyone was
Again,
doing it.
That's a real reference.
Deep cut.
That's
Yeah.
Real reference.
that's
Real
The
reference.
copper was just there and everybody was taking it, so why shouldn't I?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
What's so wrong about it?
It's already on the pallet, ready to
So-
go.
Yeah.
I guess that is a good point, though. I guess this isn't just a criminal culture. It's just it's this burgeoning sort of culture that we see across the board with humanity.
Yeah.
And it's probably, and who knows where it comes from. I mean, we're getting deep into the philosophical weeds here, but
We are.
What we do.
but I
talk about
I
food
just-
and we get in the weeds.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, usually you get in the weed and then you get to the food, but but I
That
just
too.
Nice.
yeah. I just, it's weird. I don't know how it starts. I don't know where this came from, but it is definitely, and again, at the risk of sounding like the old curmudgeon, it's this particular generation or the last couple generations have really poured it on thick. Not saying that lack of accountability is a brand new concept. It certainly isn't, but boy, maybe it's just because it's more ubiquitous because we have access to the internet and mass
Being
media
more
now,
elite.
which, we didn't have decades ago, but boy, it just seems like it's such a pervasive part of the culture. It's just really, it's sad. But it is 2 parts sad and 1 part infuriating.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing,
The other
like,
thing I've been kind of chewing on too was, is it a panic response or is it an aversion to consequences? Is it a little bit of both?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I mean, logically, is it? Yeah, of course that makes sense. But
But
if it's consequences, you're actually getting fewer consequences by taking the plea.
Right.
Why then?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you lie? Why not just say, "Yep"?
There's something else behind that for sure.
Well,
I
I think it goes back to the culture, especially with the last couple of generations. If you think about it, it's not a mitigation of consequence, which perhaps Michael, our generation had, Gen X. It's
Yeah.
become more of a consequence-free society because you're taught from a very early age how special you are and how great you are, and you'll go on to do all these great things, and you're perfect, and you're this and you're that and the other thing.
Yeah,
Everything except responsible.
yeah.
yeah,
So when these
So-
people get in front of a judge, I think Lindsay, to your point, it's a little bit of panic
Yeah.
because
Yep.
oh my goodness, now all of a sudden there's consequence and I've never
You
had
never
this
had
in
to
my
face
life.
this before. What do I do?
But in the same respect, I think it's a certain amount of arrogance because you've been taught since you were, this tall that, well, I'm hot shit. I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread and the hula hoop because mommy and daddy told me so if you had a mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Or mommy wasn't around and daddy definitely wasn't around and daddy
went out
was.
for cigarettes in
therefore
1987.
I'm
and tobacco.
justified in my behavior.
Yeah.
It's some kind of weird phenomenon for sure because it's like they revert back to kid status when they are doing this because they do sound like little kids. Like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't take the cookie. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
and it is true. Rather than just having a mitigated, they want nothing. They don't just want. It's like, our generation might have been like, oh yeah, we'll take the Class B misdemeanor. They'd be like, nope, I don't want any consequence. Yeah, but you're facing 20 years, we're going to give you a $50 fine. Yeah, I don't want to pay a $50 fine either.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we see that in front of Magistrate Chisholm a week or two ago, where
Yeah.
Oh my
somebody
God.
they offered like an impeding or something like that, and it was like $100 fine, and the
They didn't
dude
wanna
was
do it.
like, "Well, can we do anything about the fine?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm no good at paying fines." Like,
And you're
go
obviously
work
no
on
good
the
at
program.
driving either.
would you prefer the 3 points? I mean,
Yeah. And again, that's small stakes, but
It's
You
not,
know,
but it gets
there's-
larger though.
yeah, there's there's an attorney. Michelle and I watched this one attorney, Scott Reich, and he always he talks about how sometimes bigger crimes start from the smaller traffic infractions. People just think that that's not
Agreed.
really important, and yeah, you'll see people that do this. They'll be like, yeah, I don't want I can we just not pay the fine? Like, why do I have to pay the fine? And in that case, the magistrate was like, look, man, the $125 court fee or whatever, that's a state imposed thing. I can't do anything about it even if I wanted to.
I think that's a good point. That's kind of how Karens are born too. If you think about it, because
the birth
if
of
they flail their arms and make a big fuss about it, they're gonna get their way. And so it's
no one
probably
wants to deal with
happened.
it.
Nobody wants to deal with it, and so they're like, "Oh, I'll just do it again and again and again," and then they turn into a Karen. So I think there is a lot of evidence behind what we're saying tonight, for sure.
Magistrate court, this is where the Karen is born. Watch carefully as she tries to talk her way down from a $500 fine to $0. Yeah, that's I could see that's going to be a Ken
Entitled
Burns documentary.
society. Yes, entitled
The
society.
Karen is manipulating the judge's time. The mass murderer will have to wait his turn.
Sad part is you're not all that wrong.
A Karen can eat up to 8 times her body weight every day.
Yeah, that tracks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh heavens.
This is where, but we can joke about this, but that is where it starts. I mean, there's
makes sense.
even this small stuff if you're willing to lie about inconsequential things, small stuff, if you're willing to do that, then it obviously can grow. And then when you get away with it once or twice, then you think, hey, I don't have to just take because some lawyer tells me I've got to take a plea to something like when I didn't do it. And it's like, and I think if you hook them up to a polygraph, I think some of these people have themselves convinced that they didn't do it. They really, in their mind, now not all of them, some people know that they did and they just are like, they're going to just deny it all the way to the end. But there are some people that have this delusion and it's born out of this entitlement that I didn't do it, or I shouldn't have to pay for the consequence because I grew up without a dad. He went out for cigarettes and I never had a dad, so therefore society just is my personal toilet. It's weird.
Yeah.
And hence the 6th felony offender. Like, he's gotten away with it 5 other times.
Or the lady in Judge O'Donnell's court that we talked about last week that has a litany of cases that frankly took up 2 pages of my notebook. And goes all the way back to 1995. I mean, a whole rainforest worth of paper dedicated just to her criminal charges.
Well, see, all she needed to do, all she needed to do was not hang out with the white women who take all the hair on, and she would have been fine. But she's a great example, though, of just behavior stacking on top of behavior. We hear all the time in all the circles of society, not just in court but in everything else, where somebody does something small and you like look the other way.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, not for everybody, but for a decent amount of people, those behaviors, they build until it's something super bad. I've told this story before, but you know, one of my friends in high school who in freshman year was my doubles partner on the tennis team, he's dead now. And before he was dead, he went to prison. And when he was in high school, he started out by going out and drinking every weekend. And then he got into marijuana, which led into bigger and bigger drugs. And the behaviors just kept building to the point where he was part of an armed robbery that resulted in a murder because he only got the armed robbery part of it. Spent about a decade in prison, got back out, was still addicted, OD'd, and died. But it's the behaviors that for a lot of people will just build and it's excuses. And, you know, I don't have the video anymore because it was back in the day when we didn't, you know, have the easy ways to record things. But I watched the video on the news of him giving his statement before sentencing. And even back then, he was blaming everybody but himself.
Yep.
He was blaming the people that he hung around and the bad habits that these people gave him. And you know, he was, when they went to, the brilliant trio decided it was a great idea to go rob their drug dealer because they were out of money and needed drugs. And while he was out in the car, the two that went in bludgeoned the drug dealer to death. Yeah. And he's like, well, I had no idea that was going to happen and all blah, blah, blah. And just blaming everybody.
Yep.
You know?
And, you know,
and even then he wasn't really accepting the gift that was given him.
Right.
You know, he got sentenced to, what was it, like 15 to 25, got paroled at 10.
Wow.
So, you know, lucky from that aspect, but he still managed to kill himself a few years later.
And you know, Dan, whenever you tell that story or whenever we hear about this stuff, of course, I always think of the two judges I think of. You know, first of all, Judge Oakley, who said, listen, man, if I had a magic wand and I could go back and change your childhood, I'd absolutely do it. And he goes, you know, it's horrible that happened to you, but you know, you're an adult now and you have to make adult decisions. You have to face what's going on. This is not something you can't blame your father or lack of a father or your shitty childhood for everything for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with, Judge Boyd says the same thing, kind of not quite so blunt, but still very, very, very true. You know, look, it is unfortunate that the system let you down and that, you know, you bounced around from foster home to foster home or orphanage to orphanage, or, you know, that your parents did meth or whatever. I mean, that's terrible. And I feel bad for you. And I know that put you in a bad spot, but at the same time, now you're an adult, you still know right from wrong. You know, you have the mental capacity to understand it and you're just choosing not to do the right thing. And that's a choice that's on you. You know, there's a point where it can be excused, but not when you're 25.
I think 25 is the cutoff with the of that kind of excuse for sure. I think once you get to 25, you're supposed to be able to handle things adultly. Beforehand, maybe, because your brain is still developing, especially men's brains are still developing to age 25. But after that, yeah, you're expected to act like an adult for sure.
I don't know. I'm old school. I think you should be acting like an adult before you're 18, frankly. 16, 17, you should start being practicing that. And by 18, you should pretty much have it down. Because you look back at like the World War II era and stuff. I mean, these are 18, 19-year-old kids going off fighting and dying.
Yeah.
You know,
really
the responsibility that was
to
on these
think
people's
about it.
shoulders. And now we've got generations of people that can't accept the fact that they were speeding and are going to have to pay a fine.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weakness that I just can't stand personally.
Yeah,
But-
and again, I'm willing to mitigate a little bit for
Me
a
too.
17-year-old versus a 50-year-old. I am
Sure.
willing to give a little bit of latitude, a little bit, but there's only so much because again, even at 17 or 18 or 19 or 20, you still know the difference between right and wrong.
Right
You
and
may not
wrong.
have the life experience. There are things, I mean, it is easier to manipulate a 17-year-old, theoretically. All things being equal, it's easier to manipulate a 17-year-old than it is a 50-year-old person. It's easier for a 17-year-old to fall into a lot of the traps of life and crazy things because of how they are still in an influential stage, an easily influenced
And
stage
even
of
in
their
their early
life.
20s, yeah.
You're much more
But-
impacted by your peer group and folks you're around
Absolutely.
at those ages.
And there's a
Whereas
lot of
now, I
there's
think if
still
someone told me, "Hey, let's go rob a liquor store," I'll tell them, "Go have fun. I'll be
Yeah.
here on my couch with my dog."
I think it's because of their lack of life experience
that's
that
exactly it.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are prone to those
Yeah,
kind of
you
things.
don't have
for
that.
sure.
Hey, I
Well-
remember when this happened, and that was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
well, and I
Well,
think
and
there's
that's-
still
and that's
finding your
where good-
identity.
And that's where good parenting used to come
Yeah.
in.
Right.
You know, that's the whole idea, is raising your children and passing on these lessons that you've learned throughout life so that your child will make less of those choices.
Yeah.
They're still going to make one or two because
Yeah.
everybody tests
I think
it, but
I think personally, people are saying to their children these days, "Hey, don't do this," but they don't tell them why.
Yeah.
And I think that is
true.
that is a big problem.
They're leaving it at the don't do it.
Yeah,
No, not the don't do it. This is why.
Just don't
that's
do
very
it.
Well-
important.
that's kind of how morality is defined, isn't it? It's the idea of these are the things that you don't do and here's why.
Yep.
That is how I would loosely define like developing a moral compass.
Yep.
Mhm.
Whereas
Is
our
having
generation,
rules and reasons for the rules.
our
Right.
generation was just, hey, don't be a shithead. I mean, that was pretty much, we were just told, hey,
Yeah.
stop it. Don't be a dick. Like,
Or dad's
Or-
going to beat the crap out of you.
or a lot of it was, and again, this is something we talk about a lot over here, is that, our generation was, hey, figure it out.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. Michelle, Dan, and I, we're of that age of just figure it out. And so, and that wasn't the best. And I think what happens is, so then Gen X isn't off the hook for why things are the way they are now. Like, because we were like that, we decided to overcompensate and try and be, this, hey, we're not going to be like that with our kids. We're not going to just put them outside at, 7 a.m. and, hey, don't come back in till the street lights come on. And if you get thirsty, there's a hose. If you get hot, run through the sprinklers. We tried to overdo it. I think we overcompensated. And then kids got this entitlement, like, oh, well, because we didn't have any of that. So we were like, hey, let's give our kids everything because we didn't have that crap. We had to go and fend for ourselves.
Yeah,
We were feral children,
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I think we're better off for having been that.
I mean,
There was because
a
it also
point.
taught it also taught some responsibility and some self-reliance and all of that.
well, you had to
that-
learn the hard way.
Yeah, I mean now everything is just handed to you. So what happens? What happens when something gets to be difficult? What happens when you make the mistake that puts you in front of a judge and you've got to deal with it? You don't know
Right.
how, and you're in denial, which is probably why you're fighting the plea.
Hmm.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you're like, no, this just can't be. Well, it is, but if you've gotten the bumps and bruises, if when you were a kid you were scraping your knees, there's lessons there.
Yeah,
There's
for
lessons
sure.
Yeah.
that are just gone now.
Yeah.
And you're certainly not going to learn them through this damn thing right here.
That'll just make
the
it worse.
cell
in
phone,
some
yeah,
cases.
just makes it
No,
worse.
AI will not help you here.
Well, I disagree. You could learn it there. You can't. I mean, here's the thing. There's never been more information. There's never been a bigger wealth of knowledge accessible to humanity than there is now.
Should I
Yeah,
rob a
is-
store?
you can learn it there, but you won't because that's
Right.
hard and that's not
Right.
fun.
Because
It's hard to have somebody tell you that what you think and what you believe isn't the right way, and here's the right way. It's much easier to have somebody go, yeah,
Right.
do it your way.
Yeah, it's everything's Burger
Burger
King.
King.
You can have it your way.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Food.
It's the Burger King generation.
Yep.
And the algorithms support it.
Yeah.
I
No, it
mean,
does.
You know,
It does.
It just reinforces everything that you think you know, because it will feed
Yeah.
you more and more and more of it.
Well,
Maybe
and
there'll
I
be
mean,
maybe there'll be AI parental figures in the future.
Oh God.
Oh,
oh,
Uncle Grok, can you help me?
Grok,
Chat
I just robbed the
GPT,
store.
I'm
What do
pregnant
I
again.
do?
What do I do?
Sorry, Ashley's not
Um,
talking about.
Grandpa Claude, I can't figure this out.
Chat GPT
Help
be
me
like,
with my
you've
math."
got this.
Grok, what
This
do
is
I
your
do in
15th
case of
pregnancy.
fire?
Here's what you do.
I oh, God. I don't even know where I was gonna go because AI raising us no.
It kind of
Fully
already is.
derailed, guys. Fully.
Oh, well, what I was
dystopian society.
right, what I was gonna say was so look at, and again, it's curmudgeon time with Mike, but look at who the big influencers are, the big entertainment forces are out there right now. I mean, on YouTube, on social media, you know, TikTok and all that. I mean, a lot of these are, you know, these pranksters or the people that use the real world as their playground and go and harass people at restaurants or in, you know, just do stupid crap at stores or to random people on the street, you know, or just dumbasses like Jake Paul or what, you know, these people that are just, you know, and it's an influence on people and again, highly influential toward kids. And I'm not saying shut it down. Don't even start with that. Okay. But I am saying that, you know, it is a representation of where, you know, what's out there, who's consuming that.
Right.
And then people get this mindset of, hey, bro, no, it wasn't me, bro. Or, you know, you got nothing on me, man. You know, whatever. It's like, and you see that in all of these, in these court cases, in these body cams. And so then when it's time to accept accountability and you get up in front of the judge and you're supposed to, you know, you're basically supposed to give your, you know, tell them your story. Then you decide you're going to put your own spin on it or you're going to give it your flavor because, you know, you're not going to let some lawyer tell you. And that's what happens. So, you know, I don't know. That's
They think it's culturally acceptable, and when they get into court, they realize that culture does not have a place here. It's the law instead, and I feel like that's a big differential between the outside world versus, you know, something structured like the law is. And people don't know that until they get there, and they're like, "Oh, this place is weird." Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Or do they know it? This
No.
just dawned on me how
Some
much
do,
of the-
some don't.
I
much
think
of the-
most of them
how
know.
much of the culture is based on the concept that it's known out on the streets that so many deals are pled.
That's part of it, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
go and do this robbery. It'll just
be.
get
Yeah, you'll
pled down
go.
to theft. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, yeah.
They're so busy, they'll plea you down, and you'll be back out.
Especially if you have like if your group or your people that you're around has done it before as
Mhm.
well. Like
Yeah.
it depends
Like I
who
say,
you're
subcultures.
around. Yeah. So like the jailmates, they hear from other people in the jail like, don't go here. This is
Yeah.
a bad place.
Yeah.
Even though it could help them, but they hear it from whoever they're around, so it's not any different than the outside world either.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can commit whatever crime you want. You'll probably get off pretty easy, except for fishing out of season in Florida. Don't you dare do that, because
That bass.
Don't.
Oh, yeah. That one guy.
possession
that
of
one
a
guy-
bass.
That
I
one guy got executed this weekend for that. I don't know if you caught that
screeched
story.
so loud when that was the first case that came up after this weekend.
Lindsay
all
comes in
about
the
that
chat.
bass.
Hey, and I'm like,
bass.
yeah, right out the
couldn't-
gate, Lindsay. It's bass possession.
I
That's
couldn't buy a bass this weekend. I was trying, and it was legal.
Yeah.
I paid my fees to the state of Michigan. They got my $76, and I didn't get a fish.
76
can I get-
bucks now?
I got the full year because
Oh
I'm
my
gonna probably
God.
go back a couple times this summer.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know
so-
why
Wish my
that's
dad-
so stuck in my head now. It's all about that bass, not trouble.
yes. Yes.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Like,
Megan
court is
Mercer.
just taunting me this morning. Just taunting me. First my family's teasing me, then Judge McNally's teasing me.
And the day back too.
They got you
Yeah.
for getting bass out of season or in a catch and release season.
Yeah.
That hearing went on way too much longer
That-
than it should have.
Because there was an
But-
interpreter, so everything had to be
But-
said twice.
It's a
It was
big crime. that
only
he committed.
$100 fine, whereas in Florida it's like $40,000.
Yeah, mandatory 10 years jail.
Yes.
lifetime
Yeah.
revocation of the
Yeah.
fishing license.
And if you
Yeah.
do it again, we fire up old Sparky.
Uh-huh.
Oh no! Don't give me that jingle too.
Don't they have a
Eight
fish
Sparky.
offender list there too?
What was that?
I said, don't they have a fish offender list down there too?
Probably.
Pretty sure they do.
You're on
They
the
actually-
fish registry.
They actually
Probably.
do have the DNR does down there.
Oh shit.
Of course they
people-
do.
Of course.
And
they
they
do.
have their own database where they can go in and look. Yeah. And
Oh
the only
my
reason I know
God.
that is because my friend's
A
friend's
fish
dad was a
registry?
DNR.
Okay. Okay.
For
You know,
crimes
because your friend's
against
dad was DNR, not because your friend
Yeah, no, I didn't do anything.
Uh,
Friend's dad was
Oh.
DNR.
Oh,
also.
no.
There's,
wasn't me.
guys, it was my friend. It was not me. I
Yeah.
would never.
this guy I know.
This is why Florida has turned insane.
This guy named Boston, he did it, not me, Austin. No.
I thought it was Aston.
Yeah, Aston. Yeah.
One of those guys. Maybe it was
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah. So what we've learned tonight is don't fish out of season, or during catch and release season. That's basically death, and there is no plea bargain for that. By the way, you're just going to get straight jail,
Yeah.
No. I
Oh,
know.
hard
right?
labor.
There is
You're
no plea
back on the
bargain.
chain gang. You mean a pretender
But-
song?
And there's an earworm too.
Yep.
But we also know that you can get in front of the judge during the plea sentencing and still deny that you ever hooked a fish. It wasn't my fish. It wasn't my fishing rod. Those
I wasn't
weren't
even
my
in the boat,
hands
sir.
holding up that fish in that photo.
I didn't have the fish in my pants. What are you talking about?
Fish in my pants.
Well,
Those weren't
Well.
my waiters.
Well, that took a turn.
well,
Smuggle fish.
it certainly wasn't my boat.
Nope.
Come to the back of the boat.
I wasn't
Um,
even at the lake.
I don't even know what a lake looks like. What's
Yeah.
water?
I don't know. I've never been. Judge, I was I was at a pornography store. I was buying pornography.
Judge, I'm an alcoholic. I don't know what water looks like.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, I was at home reading the Bible. Bible. What's that? Bible. Yeah, that's what
No,
it was.
Biblia
Yeah.
is
That
in
part where
Spanish.
2 Corinthians walk into a bar.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Guys, on that note.
I think that we've learned a lot, but we've solved nothing.
No.
Well, that's what we do here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I put a good recipe in the chat for a dirty Dr. Pepper, so that's something. We all learned how to make a good drink.
There we go.
I'm gonna have to try this.
So you
It's
see,
that also works great with various types of Mountain Dew.
Oh, interesting.
Also very compatible with that.
I can probably make a makeshift. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, give it a go.
all right.
All right. Final
learned
thoughts,
some-
Lindsay?
Just wish I would have caught a bass this weekend.
That's fair.
I'm still on that. I'm sorry.
No, I understand.
That's all I
You
got.
should go out with my Uncle Jan the next time you're in Michigan. That guy is ridiculous. Yeah. Every time I've gone fishing with him over the years, you always come back with like buckets full of fish. I go out by myself. My poor father, he used to take me fishing. We'd get nothing.
Oh, jeez.
Go out with Uncle Jan. Nah, eat for days.
There you go.
Some people just
Wow.
have the touch.
There you go.
Austin, any final fishing thoughts or anything else?
No fishing thoughts, but if the deal's too good to be true, sounds like it shouldn't happen, sign it before you do anything. Don't say I didn't do it.
That's sound advice that nobody will take.
Sign it and shut up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ashley?
Well, so he took the deal, got the lighter charge, then looked at the parole board in the eye and said, I didn't do it. When someone refuses to own their own actions, even after pleading guilty, the board has no choice but to say enough is enough because no one else will tell them that.
It's true.
Well said.
Michael?
Yeah, I'll just echo the sentiment of if the deal is on the table and you're getting a bargain, you're getting the sale of the century. Smack down that buzzer, sign that paper, get it done because and shut your mouth thereafter, and just you're good. That's all you got to do. It's really that simple. I don't know. People overthink this stuff.
Just eat it, Michael.
Just eat it.
Sure. Yeah. Weird Al that thing. Go ahead. Just eat it.
Yep, you got it.
Especially if Lindsay finally catches that bass. Just eat it.
Next year.
I don't know. I'm happy I made it through the day with minimal disruptions. Because anytime I take like multiple days off like I did, things tend to not work right. And there was only like 2 or 3 hiccups this morning, and this show actually went pretty smooth. So I'll take the win, which is kind of what these people need to learn how to do, is take the win. But some people just love to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, and life, I guess.
Exactly.
End quote.
Yep. Anywho, back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, a half an hour earlier. If you're a channel member in the blind tomorrow night, Michael?
Yes.
Yes. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific on the In the Blind channel. And we'll be back here Thursday. Now, Thursday is the chat tells us what to talk about night.
Yeah.
Here
Love
on
that.
Sidebar.
Yes.
So y'all need to come back Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern with your topics for us to discuss.
Yep.
But
Yes.
until then, I think we're going to leave now. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.